What's up, fellas, ladies, aliens? Just wanted to talk about this assassination attempt that went out on Judge Salas. It was, I believe, last night, and she is the judge that is presiding over the Deutsche Bank Epstein civil case. And this case was assigned 4 days ago. And when I figured this out, I was actually, I got chills because this is something that Americans are not used to. I don't think is judges getting assassination attempts so publicly like this. And it's something you think of happening more so in Mexico or what's up, Quadrex, or other countries, but not the U.S. I don't think people usually think of the United States as being a country where an assassination attempt on a public official would happen in such a public manner. But here we are, and unfortunately, her husband was shot and wounded, and her son was also shot, and he, it's really sad to say, he succumbed to his wounds on the scene, and he died. Judge Salas was downstairs, so she was fortunately out of the sight of the attacker or the assassin, and it's just kind of luck of the draw in that sense that she was downstairs instead of upstairs. And what I'm guessing is, I'm guessing the son opened the door, and the husband or the father/husband came to see what was going on right after. And the son was probably, he probably took lead, in the chest or somewhere else right away. The husband was then shot. The assassin then took off, and Judge Salas actually was completely out of harm's way because she was in the basement doing something. So that's good. But the assassin was dressed as a FedEx employee. And I actually looked up to see who the CEOs of FedEx are, because I'm not sure if that's a coincidence or not that the assassin was dressed up like that. But we got this white guy, and then this other dude, Raj Subramaniam, who's like an Indian dude. So I don't know. I don't know anything about this dude. Never heard of him, Frederick W. Smith. But looks like he was a Marine captain. Now he's the CEO. Net worth of $5.4 billion. I think it's safe to say, well, I don't know. He may or may not know who Epstein is, but if I was a gambling man, I would say that he definitely knew him personally. Is this? I actually don't know if Salas is the same judge. I don't think so. I don't think they would put a judge on a civil case that is on a case so closely related to the criminal case, because this is civil court, and Ghislaine is of course, in criminal court. So I doubt they would use the same judge just because it might be a conflict of interest. But I don't even know if we know the judge's name in the other in the criminal case against Maxwell. But I'm guessing the feds are going to give Salas bodyguards now. I would imagine, you would think they would do that first, like maybe think ahead, but I guess they didn't. Obviously, now her son's dead. Husband actually is in the hospital, looks like, and he's in critical condition. But as I said before, the son unfortunately succumbed to his wounds on the spot shortly after getting shot. And it's just ridiculous because I go on Twitter, and it's not even one of the first trending. It's not on mine. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I got to change my settings or something, but I go on Twitter and it's wall of moms shield protesters in Portland. Something about NBA 2K. Hashtag is a conspiracy theory. This is ridiculous. A judge just got almost assassinated and it's not even trending on Twitter. You would think this would be frontline news everywhere, you know? Because, I mean, this is something that happens in Mexico, right? And I was saying that earlier. Mexicans are used to stuff like this happening, right? Judges or other public officials getting either assassinated or attempted assassinations, right? You know, especially in, you know, countries where there's a lot of civil unrest, such as Mexico due to the drug wars, or you know, countries where there's factions fighting for power, just in general, right? And that's obviously what we see in Mexico. I can't really speak on many other countries, but you definitely don't see this in the West quite as often as you know, you might see it in South America or Central Asia and the like. So I think it just shows that the cabal is getting desperate because it's such an obvious assassination attempt, you know, as opposed to doing it uh, like the a la Robert Maxwell way, which was poke in the neck with some sort of concoction, which is almost undetectable, right? They didn't go that way because they may not have, I mean, they don't have the time, it looks like, to do surveillance on Judge Salas and find a good spot. And I'm guessing she's never alone. Like I would imagine she never has a point in her routine where she's completely alone. And certainly she won't be alone now. She'll definitely have bodyguards, federal bodyguards, you know, with her probably at all times. And they'll probably be staked around her house as well. If she even stays there, they might move her to stay somewhere else. So that is, I know, it's just ridiculous. Like I got chills when I you know, read that, and I was like, holy crap, that's insane. But according to Ryan, the hits, at least he said a couple of years ago, the assassins are usually paid about $150,000 per hit on a judge in particular. So it's certainly at least that much money that the assassin was paid. And the father said that there was only one assassin, as far as he could tell, and he was dressed up as a FedEx employee. And it looks like he did get inside the house. You know, he took it, emptied his clip, right, and then he took off, you know, into the night. So, you know, they obviously didn't get a good look at his face or anything like that. But it's just ridiculous that this is not frontline headline news. Like, this is insane. They're talking about a video game and moms in Portland on Twitter, and you know, I mean, I have to like go and search for this stuff. It's just ridiculous, man. Like how much they're trying to cover this up, or you know, actively not cover it. You know, it's just, I can't recall a public official ever getting assassinated or an assassination attempt in my lifetimes. I don't know if somebody can correct me on that. Obviously, I'm pretty young, but you know, of course, JFK assassination, which is, you know, a watershed moment in U.S. history, but you know, I can't think of anything like this where a judge or other public official was an attempt was taken at their life. I wonder what kind of weapon the assassin used. Like, what kind of? I'm sure the feds will, you know, take a look at that and the bullet casings to see what kind of gun he used. It might be able to, you know, start from there and see what kind of weapon he used and where it might have been bought. But you know, there isn't a whole lot of time to do that, right? in this case, because I think, I don't know, I don't think it's necessarily linked to the election, but I think it's definitely, it affects it for sure. And another thing I wanted to mention too, which was just creepy as, it's just really one of the most frightening things I've ever seen, is this video of Kamala Harris, and she looks like a demon, like seriously looks like a demon. And I don't. It's here. Let me share. Am I streaming this one or no? I'm streaming that. Okay, let me pull it up. So here's a still shot, but let me show you the video, because you look at that and you could be like, okay, maybe. But look at this. Look at this shit.
And now he will be obviously among our most honored ancestors.
Here, let me.
I would sit and talk with John, and he was, the quiet conversations that we would have. He was always so encouraging. He encouraged ambition in women.
Whoops.
He
wrong screen.
Seeing ambition in women, and there's
okay. Here it is. Look at this.
As everyone has said,
look at this. Look at her eyes.
His truth, how he lived his faith, how he put that faith into action, and we have.
They're completely black.
It was about Bloody Sunday, and you and I and others were there. That was my last big event before the pandemic, was to be there with John, with you, and so many others.
It's just gross. Like, what is going on? She looks like a demon.
McConnell needs to put the Voting Rights Act.
It doesn't even look like Kamala Harris. So is this like a demon-possessed body double, or what? Like,
conversations that we would
see, look at this, like that. So this area of the face, I'll show you right here in the middle. It determines most, the identification of someone and the recognition in our brains, right? How we recognize the face. Look at the eyes. First off, that is just weird. It's just really weird. But if you see the chin too, looks slightly different. It looks like this person's face was constructed to look like Kamala Harris. The nose is very similar, but it doesn't look quite the same. Kamala's nose is a little more pointed down. This picture on the left, I don't necessarily want to say it was one way or the other, but it's just frightening. Like, I don't know what you guys think about this. Very, very creepy. But yeah, for those just joining, assassination attempt on Judge what was her name, Hollis or Salas? And again, not trending on Twitter for some reason. Don't know why. Looks like Newsweek just posted an article. FBI, Salas, Esther Salas. Okay, so the father opened the door. I misspoke. Damn, that's crazy. So the son ran to protect his dad. He too was shot. Dang. Yeah, you would think a judge would have security cameras on her, on her property. This was in North Brunswick, New Jersey. This is ridiculous, man. Why do people watch Game of Thrones when it's literally, Game of Thrones is literally going on in real life? We're looking for one subject, and ask anyone who thinks they may have relevant info. Call us at 1973-792-3001. It's unclear if the suspect was an actual FedEx worker or simply disguised as one at the time. I'm guessing he was disguised as one there, Sherlock. North Brunswick police have been contacted for comment. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to get back to you real quick. Yeah, because look at this guy said it too, and Stephen Pasquale. I don't know if you guys could see that 9 hours ago. It's pretty early. I didn't sleep last night. What time is it right now? I don't even know. It's like 9 or 10. Whatever. Well, he tweeted this like right about midnight. So this happened last night. I'm guessing late last night. A Russian satellite country. I'm just wondering who, like, I don't know. Obviously, one of these billionaires put the hit out, I think. But maybe it was an intelligence agency too. Some rogue agents within the intelligence community. So there's Judge Salas and her boyfriend, her husband, who I think is retired now, but he was a prosecutor as well. Deutsche Bank is being accused of misleading investors about anti-money laundering deficiencies, including not properly monitoring high-risk customers, among them Epstein, who died in a Manhattan jail cell while waiting sex offense charges. Authorities have given no indication that the motive for the Andrel shooting is tied into any of the judge's cases. What do you mean by Andrel? Trump's goons are disappearing protesters in Portland. That's another thing too, is the Gestapo in Portland. It doesn't seem to concern anyone on Twitter, which I really don't understand. The only people it seems to concern that I've seen is Charlie Robinson, whose book I'm about to finish, and I want to see if we can talk to him soon. So yeah, it was just 4 days ago she was assigned the civil case. This is crazy. Like, you know, if if Kellen had gotten bail, she would be dead by now, I would think. Maybe not. I mean, if she get convinced everyone that she wasn't going to squeal, but a year is a long time in jail to not to die. God, she's got to be so paranoid right now. Her reptilian side is coming out. Yeah, it's just super creepy. Like, let's see this. Ali Karimi individually and on behalf of all others similarly situated, the plaintiff versus the defendants, Deutsche Bank. That German word, John Cryan, Christian Suing, and James von Mook. Jury trial demanded. We're finally going after these banks, and this is what happens. Holy shit. Okay. Again, none of this is trending on Twitter. I don't know why. The New York Times just posted the article. Breitbart also posted. That's a little less surprising. There she is, Judge Salas. Again, she was downstairs in the basement doing something while the assassin knocked on the door. And it was the husband that opened the door. I thought it was the son. The son came to his dad's aid, and both were shot. Unfortunately, and sadly, the son succumbed to his wounds last night. Shortly thereafter, a suspect still remains at large. Even if they find this person, do you think they're gonna, tell people who it is? I would doubt it. I would be surprised if they don't find the assassin. Another Clintonian message. Clinton's wet work is getting sloppy. Following the money will get you killed. I'll bet the perp was wearing a mask. You're probably right. Because it's socially acceptable to wear masks now. It's actually socially enforced. Oh, the BBC just reported on it. It's about time. Okay, that was 4 hours ago. The motive is unclear. Okay. Yeah, I guess you're supposed to say that. Even though we kind of all know what the motive was. Anybody with a modicum of critical thinking or analyzing. Yeah, I agree. Deep State must be freaked out, or they wouldn't have done such a public assassination attempt on a public official, no less. When late, I'll get a German tuning in. That's cool. I don't understand why the FBI hasn't caught this person yet. I mean, you'd think they would be able to find them pretty soon. But then again, I don't know. They probably had the whole thing planned out. He might be in Thailand by now, or at least on his way. So her son, Daniel Andrel, Anderl, student. Okay, it was about at 1700 Eastern time. So 4 o'clock my time, Central Time. And that would be what, 2 a.m. London time, right? 1 a.m. Sorry, 1 a.m. London time. She had threats from time to time. Authorities also considering whether the husband's work as a criminal defense lawyer. Oh, he's a defense lawyer. I thought he was a prosecutor. So I was wrong on that too. Excuse me for that. Unless the BBC's wrong, which they might be. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez hopes, quote, those responsible for this horrendous act are swiftly apprehended and brought to justice. I still don't understand why this isn't trending on Twitter. I mean, you'd think, let's go to trending. The Alienist. Minecraft manhunt. Is that what's going on? What is this? Oh my gosh. Literally a video game is trending on Twitter. Deutsche Bank. Oh, finally, it's on there. Look at this. See this? It's number 7. Okay, it's finally the top 10. And then we had, of course, Kanye doing his doing his press conference for wow, that's ridiculous. Yeah, and then for those that didn't see, I wanted to show people this too. Just really creepy. Really, really creepy. Look at this. Look at this. This is real. This is real. This is not a joke. I'll go to the video. I think it's here. Look at this.
He was a living saint.
Look at her eyes.
And now he will be obviously among our most honored ancestors. I would sit and talk with John, and he was the quiet conversations that we would have. He was always so encouraging. He encouraged ambition.
Dude, look at her eyes. That is just so weird.
Seeing ambition in women. And there is so much to applaud him for about, as everyone has said, how he lived his truth, how he lived his faith, how he put that faith in.
They should have sent UPS.
And we have to remember, yes, it was about.
Yeah, it's a good thing they didn't send USPS because the assassin would have gotten lost.
The pandemic was to be there.
If they sent USPS, the assassin wouldn't have been able to find the house. But yeah, maybe you're right. You should have done UPS. But just look at, like, this is so creepy, dude. She looks like a demon. Like, what is up? It doesn't even look like her. Expectations versus 2020. It's just weird as hell, man. Like I was looking at this in the bathroom, and I was like, dude, what is going on?
And now he will be obviously among our most honored ancestors.
Blood God she worships.
With John, and he was
Her doppelganger.
Conversations that we would have. He was always so encouraging. He encouraged ambition in women. He enjoyed seeing ambition.
He encouraged reptiles. Ambition in reptiles. Hey, how's it going? I'm Kamala Harris. What the hell, dude? It just looks so creepy. She looks like a demon. And this is kind of funny. Hopefully Judge Salas won't be added to that, but rest in peace to her son. Last name Andrel. I forgot his first name already. Daniel. Rest in peace, Daniel. 20 years old, assassinated by this crime syndicate in the shadows. Yeah, it's just weird, man. It's just weird, and this is, I like this. You catch the new episode of Earth. See, this is why I don't watch TV anymore, because the real life Game of Thrones is going on, like, right now. Oh, okay, yeah, look at it. Look at this. Now it's trending. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this is in Newark. So last Wednesday. What day is it today? Today's Monday. Yeah, so that's like 4 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday was the hit was attempted. So almost immediately the hit was put out on once the judge was named. Deutsche Bank also fined $150 million for failing to flag Jeffrey Epstein's shady transaction. Who gets that money then? The government? No coincidence there, I agree. Anybody who says that's a coincidence is stupid. Deutsche Bank investors sue the bank over Epstein ties. Stock is dropping. So don't let FedEx guys in your house. I guess that's the moral of the story. Former Deutsche Bank. So this happened a while ago now, I think. End of last year. Former Deutsche Bank exec connected to Trump loans dies by suicide. Why would he kill himself? Why would a guy at the top of a bank kill himself? I believe so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this was Clintonian intervention. And rest in peace to Daniel. Yeah, you think people would know who it is, but it's crazy, man. Really crazy. Okay, yeah, Deutsche Bank is finally trending. It's popped off. It's hit a inflection point on Twitter, and it looks like it is trending. I didn't realize how early it was. It's only 8 a.m. here in the Midwest, so I thought it was like the middle of the day. I've been awake all night pretty much, and yeah, anyways, I'm talking to Sam Samworth on Wednesday. Big Sam. We're supposed to talk this morning, but that did not happen. So everybody's just waking up pretty much on the West Coast Mountain Time, and then now the Midwest Central Time, etc. East Coast has been up for a few hours, and everybody's just learning about this, so that's why I think it took a bit for this to start trending.
To a hail of gunfire. The shooter was wearing what looked like a FedEx uniform. It's unclear whether the gunman was a FedEx employee or posing as one. Neighbors and friends say they are devastated.
We grew up together. Went to the same school and everything. Played baseball. It's sad to see him go. I mean, he was a decent kid, like, you know. He's going to be a lawyer just like his dad did. His father's a lawyer.
This is an absolute shock. Just very good-natured, wonderful people. So hopefully they'll be okay. And that's it. We love them very, very much.
A source tells CNN law enforcement is unaware of any threats against the judge. Her husband is a defense attorney, so investigators don't know yet what the motive was or who was the intended target. Back in 2011, Salas became the first Latina woman to serve as a U.S. District Court judge in New Jersey. We will bring you more updates on this as we get them.
Let's watch
Breaking overnight, the FBI investigating after a gunman opens fire at the home of a federal judge in New Jersey, killing her son and injuring her husband. Judge Esther Salas was home at the time, but unhurt. Early law enforcement reports say her husband, Mark Andrew, was standing behind their 20-year-old son, Daniel, who opened the door to a hail of gunfire. The shooter was wearing what looked like a FedEx uniform. It's unclear whether the gunman was a FedEx employee or posing as one. Neighbors and friends say they are devastated.
Okay, we just saw that.
We grew up together, went to the same school and everything. Played baseball. It's sad to see him go. I mean, he was a decent
It's too
kid,
bad,
like,
man.
you know.
Just too bad.
He's going to be a lawyer just like his dad did. His father's a lawyer.
This is an absolute shock. Just very good-natured, wonderful people. So hopefully they'll be okay. And that's it. We love them very, very much.
That's too bad, man. His only sin was being born to a judge, a powerful judge who happened to be assigned the case of. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. It's just ridiculous, dude. She looks so. It's just so creepy, dude. Tulsi's good looks drove Harris to Botox. Do we even know that's her? So those just tuning in, assassination attempt on Judge Salas, Esther Salas, the judge who was given the civil case of Epstein as it pertains to Deutsche Bank and the transactions that he made through that bank. Definitely not a coincidence by my estimation. And it's finally trending on Twitter. Actually, when I first went live today, a few minutes ago, it was not, and I was kind of incredulous. I was like, why is this not trending yet? But I didn't realize how early it was. I thought it was later on in the day, but it's starting our day here. Well, you know, been starting for a couple hours here in the Midwest, as I said. So it's popping off, and the son has unfortunately succumbed to his wounds. It's quite sad. The husband who opened the door is in critical condition. So he's hospitalized right now. The judge, again, was downstairs in the basement doing something. Maybe she was reading or getting some work done. So she's actually unscathed. The gunman, I guess, unloaded his clip on the two guys, the two men, the father and the son, and then took off, and he used a FedEx uniform to get into the house. 6 a.m. here. Okay, so we're on the West Coast. Video is echoing. Oh, that's probably yeah, that's probably my fault there. Turned it up too much. But I just want to make sure you guys heard that. But it is trending now, as I said. Deutsche Bank, Judge Salas. Is anything unravel all of the money laundering in the Epstein case? Hundreds of millions of dollars worth. Banks, suspects, and the whole black book. Yesterday, a gunman shows up at her house, shoots her husband, kills her son, and escapes without going into house. So the gunman, the assassin, it looks like he did have a degree of self-preservation, right? Because, I mean, it sounds like he could have taken them all out if he would have, you know, presumably he had another magazine. So he unloads the clip. The son is mortally wounded right away, as is the father. And instead of reloading the clip and finding the judge in the house, which he could have done, it sounds like. I mean, it sounds like the husband and the son weren't armed. Instead of doing that, he takes off. Why would he take off instead of not finishing the job? Instead of finishing the job, you know, I think that shows a degree of self-preservation by the assassin of get in and get out. And I think maybe it's more so right now about the message. And they were just hoping that the judge opened the door. But if she didn't, so be it. They're going to shoot whoever opened it. Unload the clip, take off. The assassin gets away. The message is sent. Because otherwise, the assassin could have just went downstairs, right? He could have searched through the house to try to find the judge. Perhaps, yeah, that's a good point. There might have been an alarm that the judge had on the house. Maybe a coincidence. Right. Yeah, okay. Certainly used a handgun. I wonder if it was silenced. Oh, anyways, I just wanted to update people on that because I did see that there is not really a whole lot popping off with it. So, yeah, it's looks like that's all the news for now as far as the assassination attempt goes. And I'm also happy to see that people are talking about this ridiculous. Look at this. They're already making memes of it. Like, are we sure that's even the same person? Like the eyes, man, the eyes. It's just so creepy. It reminds me of this. It was actually a detective, I think he was, or police officer that I spoke to once, and I will never forget this man's eyes. He just had the deadest eyes I've ever seen. Just no emotion whatsoever. And he kept calling me brother too. I'm like, dude, I'm not your fucking brother. Like, I'll never forget that man's eyes. Just completely empty. And of course, he's a detective, right? Works for law enforcement. I keep picturing No Country for Old Men. Pig Killer Bolt. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. Why didn't the assassin go into the house? I don't understand. I mean, that's my only guess, is that it was more so about sending the message. And it sounds like he used a handgun. He didn't use a submachine gun because handgun would be easiest to conceal. May or may not have had a silencer. I don't know. I would guess maybe not. Maybe though. It would depend on their house setup. But it sounds like they have quite a few neighbors near them. Yeah, it really wasn't, you know. So that leads me to believe that, again, whoever sent the hit in meant to send a message more so than actually kill the judge. But they were hoping that judge opened the door. So, all right, guys. Eddie Eds, Anakin Skywalker, YouTube's chosen one, reporting on this assassination attempt on Judge Salas, Esther Salas, the civil court judge assigned to the Epstein case as it pertains to money laundering through the bank Deutsche Bank, one of the biggest banks in the world. All the best. Stay frosty. And be careful who you open the door for, right? Always check to see before you take that lock off. All right. Peace, people.